Grab something soft, a balled up sock, a crumpled piece of paper, whatever's within reach. Now throw it, overhand, across the room. Aim for a wall, a bin, a spot on the floor. Go on, I'll wait. Okay, that thing you just did, that easy throwaway little motion, is one of the strangest things your body is capable of. Because no other animal on Earth can throw like that. Not a lion, not an eagle, not even a chimpanzee. And a chimpanzee could overpower you in a heartbeat. Seriously, don't try it. Here's the part that doesn't add up. Pound for pound, a chimp is something like 1.5 to 2 times stronger than you are. Same size muscle, far more power behind it. If it ever came down to a wrestling match, it would not be close. But hand that chimp a baseball and ask it to throw, it manages maybe 20 miles an hour. Flat, wobbly, wildly off target. The arm barely winds back. It's a straight arm shove, all effort, no snap. It's honestly a little sad to watch. A random kid who has never played a sport in their life throws harder than that. By a lot. And speed isn't even the whole miracle. You can also aim. A person can pick a spot the size of a dinner plate and hit it again and again from clear across a field. Fast and accurate in the same motion. Nothing else alive can do both at once. So the strongest one loses, which means throwing was never about strength in the first place. There is a specific piece of machinery in your shoulder, a kind of built-in slingshot that you have and the chimp doesn't. It's the reason you can fling a rock faster than an animal twice your strength. And the leading explanation is that it quietly changed the whole direction of the human story. Let me show you what's actually going on when you throw. Wind your arm back, slowly, like you're about to really let one fly. Feel that stretch across the front of your shoulder? That deep pull right before you'd snap forward? That is the entire trick, right there. When you cock your arm back, you are not loading a muscle. You are loading a spring. The tendons and ligaments that cross the front of your shoulder stretch tight, and they store energy while they're stretched. A tendon is the tough cord that ties a muscle to a bone. A ligament ties bone to bone. Wind them up, and they behave exactly like a drawn bow, or a slingshot pulled back to your ear. To get there, your upper arm rotates backward, further than it looks like it should be able to. That extreme backward twist has a name, external rotation, and you can do it to a degree that would wreck most animals' shoulders. That deep twist is what stretches the spring to its limit. Then you let go, and it all snaps back, releasing that stored energy in a fraction of a second, far faster than any muscle could ever contract on its own. That's the secret nobody tells you. Your throw is not powered by your arm, it is released by your arm. The energy was already sitting there, wound up, waiting, a spring, in your shoulder, that you never knew you were loading. But your shoulder cannot take all the credit, because the wind-up starts way lower than that. Watch anyone throw hard and you'll see it. The feet plant. The hips fire first. Then the waist twists. And this is the strange bit. Your waist can rotate separately from your hips. Your top half and your bottom half can point in slightly different directions for a split second. That is rare. Most animals are built stiff through the middle, one solid barrel from shoulders to hips. You are built to wring yourself out like a wet towel. So the power rolls up through you like a wave. Hips, then waist, then chest, then shoulder, then the snap of the elbow, and finally the wrist, flicking last. Each part handing off to the next, faster and faster, adding a little more speed at every step. It ends up being one of the quickest motions your body is physically able to make. Nobody taught your shoulder that sequence. You just have it. So why can't a chimp just practice? Put in the reps, learn the timing, work on its form? Because it isn't a timing problem. It's a body problem. A chimp's shoulders are built for hanging and climbing, aimed up and out so it can swing along under branches. Its torso is a rigid barrel. The waist doesn't wind independently the way yours does. It physically cannot fold into that cocked, wound-back position that loads the spring in the first place. So a chimp's throw is all muscle, a shove. Yours is a release, a snap. And no amount of practice rewrites the shape of the joint you were born with. A team of researchers at Harvard mapped this whole slingshot in detail. The exact tendons, the exact angles, the physics of storing the energy and letting it go. And what they found is that this setup isn't some lucky quirk of the human arm. It's a specific bundle of features working together. A low mobile waist, a certain twist built into the upper arm bone, a shoulder loose enough to wind all the way back, that show up as a package in us and almost nowhere else. And when you actually train it, it gets, frankly, ridiculous. A professional pitcher throws a ball over 100 miles an hour, casually, like it's nothing. In that instant, the shoulder spins faster than almost any joint in the human body ever moves, doing anything at all. Here's the unsettling part. That motion is so violent, it sits right at the edge of tearing the arm apart. The forces ripping through a pitcher's shoulder are close to the limit of what the tissue can physically survive. That's why pitchers keep blowing out their arms. They're running the spring so hard, it slowly starts to come apart. It's basically controlled self-destruction, performed once every few seconds. And here's the wild bit. That is the exact same motion you used on a balled-up sock a couple of minutes ago. Same machine. You just weren't trying to break it. So why do you have a loaded slingshot buried in your shoulder at all? Go back a couple of million years. Picture an early human, smaller than you'd guess, not especially fast, no claws, no fangs, standing out on an open grassland surrounded by things that would happily eat them. They couldn't outrun a lion. They couldn't outmuscle much of anything out there. But they could pick up a rock. And they could throw it hard enough and straight enough to actually hurt something from a safe distance away. Think about what that quietly changes. For the first time, an animal could hurt another animal without being anywhere near its teeth. The rock leaves the hand, crosses 40 feet of open air, and lands before the other animal even understands where the danger came from. You could drive a lion off a fresh kill and walk away with the meat. You could bring down something far bigger than you and live to do it again. All at once, the slow, soft, clawless ape is the most dangerous thing on the plain, from 30 feet back, with a handful of stones. The leading explanation is that this one ability, throwing, was a genuine turning point for our ancestors. More meat meant more calories. And the leading idea is that all those extra calories helped feed the one organ that really makes us us, a big, greedy, expensive brain. Let that sit for a second. Every quarterback, every cricket bowler, every kid who has ever sunk a paper ball into a bin across the classroom is running hunting software that's roughly 2 million years old. You're not playing a game. You're doing the thing that kept your ancestors alive, just with the stakes taken out. Which brings us right back to that sock, or that crumpled paper, wherever it ended up. Go pick it up. Hold it in your hand for a second. That easy little throw you didn't think twice about, that's a loaded slingshot. A spring made of stretched tendon, and 2 million years of staying alive, all firing in about half a second. An animal twice your strength is sitting in a zoo somewhere right now that will never once feel what your shoulder just did, for free, without trying. You are the only thing on this entire planet that can pick up a rock and truly mean it. Not the strongest animal, not the fastest, you. And that's not a skill you picked up somewhere. It's who you're built from. So throw it one more time. Then go find someone stronger than you and quietly, gently beat them at it. Because your body is hiding stranger tricks than this one. And the next is happening every single time you so much as glance at something.